Ladies with gentle hands, you know, I absolutely adore Madden. I've played Madden like my entire life. That was like one of my first games I ever played on the PS2. I've been following Madden for a very long time. I love Madden. I love playing football game. I love franchise. I love simulating running my team. I've played a lot of Ultimate Team and all that. Well, today, ladies with gentle hands, we're going to go through these Madden rookie ratings. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, the pretty, everything in between. Now, we've had some flops lately, ladies and gentlemen. We're on that push to 1,000 subscribers, and I've been putting out some crap videos, apparently. So I do apologize. I got to lock in. Let me lock in, chat. Let me lock in, chat. And we got to put out some bangers right now, okay? We got to get some bangers out here. So today we're going to have a nice civil discussion on these very wonderful Madden rookie ratings. Now, of course, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you like, tell me what you didn't like, tell me what kind of videos you want to see, and I will see you guys in the video right now. Madden ratings for rookies. Does it suck? Am I a cuck? I don't know. All right, let's just start with the number one pick in the draft. Cam Ward at a 72 overall. Yeah, listen, I'm not gonna lie here. A 72 for my guy Cam Ward is a little crazy. Now listen, I understand this was an incredibly weak quarterback class, and Cam Ward is not like one of the greatest quarterback prospects of all time to come out. He's not like even a top 10 quarterback prospect of all time. But Cam Ward was a winner over at Miami. I see this Cam Ward rating, and it baffles me that Cam Ward is one of the lowest rated ever first picks in the draft. Now, I'm not saying he should be high by any stretch of the imagination, and understand that quarterbacks are on a much tougher scale, especially rookie quarterbacks with Madden ratings. But to say that Cam Ward is only slightly above like average backups in the NFL that's a little strange to me. I'm not gonna lie. For Cam Ward to only be 5 overalls higher than someone like Shedeur Sanders, or only 6 overalls higher than someone like Dylan Gabriel, who I think Cam Ward clears like very clearly, I think it's a little strange. He led college football with 4,300 yards, 39 touchdowns, and only 7 picks. He had a great season, and he certainly was a winner. But I just don't understand where the super low overall comes from. I get it, and he didn't have a ton of hype. A lot of the other prospects, like, the fucking Ashton Genty, a fucking Abdul Carter, had a lot more hype than him. I get that. But just because he doesn't have a lot of hype doesn't mean that he wasn't a good player. I think a fair overall for my guy Cam Ward to be something like a 74, 75. I'm not saying this guy's got to be like a super, super high overall, but I think 72, honestly, is really criminally low for my guy Cam Ward. I think he played a lot better than that. I think he led that Miami team was good, but Miami has not been good in a long time, and him playing at a high level certainly helped change that and turn that around. I don't think Cam Ward should be 72. I don't think Cam Ward should be one of the lowest first overall picks of all time. All right, next on my list is a little bit of the opposite of the Cam Ward issue. Like I said, I think Cam Ward is very underrated, but I can't believe I'm going to say this. I think Travis Hunter is actually slightly overrated. I think Travis Hunter is just a touch too high at an 84 overall. Now, listen, I understand that Travis Hunter had a fantastic career over at Colorado, and I definitely think he is a dog of a player. But to be coming now to the NFL, where he's going to try to play multiple positions, both corner and wide receiver, and an 84 overall as a rookie, that's like superstar numbers. I think he's a fantastic corner and wide receiver, but for him, like, let's talk cornerback wise, right? To be 6 overalls higher than like Jahdae Barron or Maxwell Hairston, who I think are some of the top corners in this draft class, I think it's crazy. Now, is Travis Hunter the number 1? Absolutely. But to be 6 overalls higher than those two guys, that's where I'm like, okay, now we're just stretching a little bit. Also, wide receiver wise, Travis Hunter, being by far the number 1, I think is a little bit of a stretch. There are some receivers in this class that I prefer over Travis Hunter if he was exclusively a wide receiver. I mean, being an 84 overall to be on the same par as Andrew Luck coming out of college overall wise, I think is kind of crazy. Andrew Luck was generational talent. I mean, like, that was one of the like biggest prospects ever. To even be an overall higher than Myles Garrett coming out of college with a Madden rating, I think that's a little excessive. I think Travis Hunter has a lot of hype and he's got a lot of media because of the whole Colorado rundown, and I just think that it may have influenced his rating a little bit. I'm not saying the dude, I honestly think an 80 to an 81 is a very fair rating for this Travis Hunter. But to be an 84, I think you have to be generational. If he was that generational, the Titans would have snagged him with the first overall pick instead of Cam Ward. Because like I also previously mentioned, this was a quarterback weak class. The Titans need talent all over the ball, not just at quarterback. If he was this generational of a talent, I think the Titans would have snagged him over Cam Ward. And I also think that he could have obviously then gone at number 2. So I honestly don't think that Travis Hunter should be an 84. I think that's a little bit of a reach. I think that's a little bit of overkill right there. But I also understand, you know, the media hype around him. They need to make sure he's going to be fun in Madden to sell some games. But I think it's definitely a touch of an overrating right there, especially with look how low Cam Ward is at the first pick at a 72. Look at the difference, 12 overalls from between the first pick. I mean, that's crazy to me. All right, let me correct myself. Sorry, Travis Hunter was the second pick. I don't know why I said the third. Quick correction, I do apologize. We're going to move on to the next on our list. I even brought it back to the comparison of the first pick. I don't know. I'm not even drunk or high. I'm getting ready for work, so, you know, got to lock in a little bit. Let's talk about, finally on this list, another Madden rating. I think that they just kind of flopped on a little bit, and I'm looking at Commanders' first-round pick rookie, Josh Connolly Jr. Josh Connolly Jr., to me, was one of the more complete tackle prospects in this draft. But I noticed that a lot of the tackles in this draft had a very low overall, similar to the quarterbacks. And I saw that and I was a little bit curious about that. I don't understand why like Madden loves to rate running backs super high, but then tackles get rated super low. I think Josh Connolly Jr. is honestly a better prospect than Josh Simmons, and Josh Simmons got the higher overall nod than Josh Connolly Jr. I think Connolly Jr. obviously did have some issues and was kind of only just starting to come into his own, but I think that like he is actually like a really strong prospect who just needed more reps because he obviously has not played a ton of college football. I think that was honestly a great first round pick for the Commanders, and I definitely think he's a little higher than that 74 is giving him, especially with how many second, third, and fourth round picks are getting rated 74, 75, 70 plus. You know what I mean? I think that Connolly did not need to be anything crazy. I just think a 76 to a 77 would have been a little bit more fair, but I also think that Josh Simmons on that same note should have been higher. I think a lot of the tackles in this draft got pushed to a lower rating for some reason, and frankly, I'm not entirely sure why. I think Kelvin Banks at a 76 is not bad. I didn't actually love Kelvin Banks coming out of college. I definitely thought he was a slightly better prospect than Connolly, but I think that Kelvin Banks sitting at a 76 is fair, and then throwing someone like Connolly up to that matching 76 would have been also equally as fair. I think honestly Madden didn't miss on a ton of these Madden rookie ratings, but I don't think they were entirely perfect either. I think that it was a little bit of a mixed bag, and I think my main gripe lays within that between the first and the second pick of Cam Ward to Travis Hunter. I think Travis Hunter is a touch overrated because of all the media shitstorm. I think Cam Ward's a touch underrated because he wasn't like a demon to the media. You know what I mean? I get it, he wasn't the number one media story, but I still thought he was a solid quarterback prospect in an overall pretty weak quarterback draft. Now, I didn't mention Shedeur Sanders being a 67 overall. I think it could be honestly a touch higher, and I'm a Shedeur hater. Not a hater. I just don't think Shedeur Sanders was like, should have been a first round pick by any stretch. That does make me a hater. But I do think Shedeur Sanders being a 67 is a touch low, but I understand that he was a 5th round pick rookie, and to throw a 5th round pick rookie that like much higher than that would definitely catch some flack. I like that he's higher than Dylan Gabriel. Some people didn't like that. Just because Dylan Gabriel was drafted higher doesn't mean that he was the better player. Shedeur Sanders is a better prospect, in my opinion, than Dylan Gabriel. I think that honestly Shedeur Sanders could be encroaching on that like 69 to 70 overall rating, in my opinion. But that also would be, you know, obviously that'd make him very close to Cam Ward. But again, Cam Ward should be higher than a 72 overall. So I think that Shedeur did get a little underrated because he was a 5th round pick. But I think Shedeur's got plenty of time to, you know, prove that in the NFL, and especially on a team like the Browns. If he's the best quarterback, I think he's going to prove it in that quarterback room right there. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going home. It's time to wrap it up. It's been a long and grueling video. Thank you guys again for watching. Make sure y'all drop a like, drop a sub. We're about to hit that 1,000 if we haven't already once this video comes out. I really hope we did. I'm feeding for that 1,000, y'all. I'm feeding for that 1,000. But again, thank you guys again for watching and listening to my rant about Madden rookies. Shedeur Sanders is underrated still. He's better quarterback than Tyler Show. Fuck you. Sorry, Saints fans. Just had to spit facts. Cam Ward also underrated. Very sad. Commanders aren't going to win the Super Bowl this year. They're going to win it next year, though. We're going to have a great year this year. And smoke crack, eat drywall. Love you guys all. See you guys all again very, very soon. Tell me what videos to make. Bye.